Okay, so you remember Ross loved Rachel and Rachel loved Ross. Then Ross started bugging Rachel about a guy she'd worked with. Then Rachel said she wanted a break, but it wasn't clear whether it was good. Then Ross accidentally slept with another woman. Then they spent a long night with their friends locked in a room eating wax, and then in the end they broke up. Then Ross fell in love with Emily and asked her to marry him. Next up, the whole lot went over to London, baby, and had a bit of a culture shock. Met Emily's family, Chandler slept with Monica, Joey slept with the bridesmaid, Phoebe was at home pregnant, and Rachel got this mad idea to stop the wedding and tell Ross she loved him. So she goes to the airport, buys the ticket, forgets the passport, goes home, gets the passport, comes over to London, arrives in the church, sees Ross kissing Emily, decides it's a bad idea, then the wedding continues, but Ross screws up everything by saying,
"Take thee, Rachel."
Catch up on the old series of Friends, because the new series is coming soon and you'll need to know what's going on Thursday at 10 and Friday at 9 on 4.
Well, we have a chance to look ahead at Tuesday night here on 4, and at 9 o'clock, the start of a brand new series where science meets history, Secrets of the Dead. And some strange goings-on are uncovered when a mass grave comes to light that seems to go back to the War of the Roses. At 10 o'clock, Sorensen has to come to terms with some life-changing news in NYPD Blue. And at 11 o'clock, a hard-hitting documentary about families living with HIV and AIDS, playing Nintendo with God. That's the way Tuesday night is looking here on 4.
The Time team hope to rediscover a Kent shipyard that seems to have vanished from the face of the earth. That's in 5 minutes after a news summary now with Cyrus Shah.
Good evening. World leaders are making their way to Jordan for the funeral tomorrow of King Hussein, who lost his final battle with cancer this morning. Countries across the Middle East have declared 3 days of mourning for a man whose common touch made him a linchpin of the region. President Clinton said he won the respect and admiration of the entire world. Tony Blair described him as a man of rare vision, and the UN Secretary-General Kofi Annan spoke of his deep and personal sense of grief. The flag over Buckingham Palace flew at half-mast, the first time it's done so for foreign royalty. The Israeli cabinet held a minute's silence. The late king's eldest son, Abdullah, has been formally sworn in as king. Serbs and ethnic Albanians from Kosovo have agreed key principles for a settlement. It came during the first full day of peace talks in France. The Albanian side reportedly agreed to drop its demand for independence for 3 years in exchange for a measure of autonomy. One Western mediator called it a good step forward, but added that the devil's in the detail, which still has to be worked out. Police are considering bringing new charges against the 5 suspects in the case of the murdered black teenager Stephen Lawrence. It was assumed that they could not be prosecuted again after a civil case against them collapsed, but they may now face charges of conspiracy to murder. The Chief Schools Inspector, Chris Woodhead, has apologised on television for suggesting that sixth form pupils could learn from affairs with teachers. He spoke after details emerged of a relationship he'd once had with a former pupil. Mr. Woodhead said that began after his professional relationship with her had finished. The Princess of Wales's former secretary has resigned from her memorial fund. Jackie Allen's departure severs the fund's link with Princess Diana's Kensington Palace staff. And now for the weather. Further snow showers for Scotland, North East England and Northern Ireland. Inland clear with sharp frost and icy patches. A dry, bright and cold day for southern and eastern England. Snow showers for Scotland and northern England. Rain and snow will spread to Northern Ireland, Wales and southwest England later. And the outlook rather cold, but bright in many places. That's all from the Channel 4 newsroom. Goodbye.
They say what happens in America eventually happens here.
Anybody could shoot you the wrong look, you could get shot. Get shot for anything.
The new American approach to crime prevention.
We've now got to get kids at 5, 6, 7, and 8.
In Search of Law and Order, tonight at 9 on 4.
Is there anybody out there?
The whole cockpit just lit up.
It wasn't an airplane, it was an object.
Or can these sightings have origins much closer to Earth?
Extremely secret program that to this day the U.S. government denies ever existed.
Riddle of the Skies continues Monday at 8 on 4.
In concert and rehearsal with fellow musicians, including the teacher who nurtured her burgeoning talent. 4's documentary Remembering Jacqueline du Pré is in an hour after Time Team.